and welcome to koolNews Early Edition. Today is uh, July 10, 2024, and well, someone's calling me. No, hang on a minute. All right. We will be restarting the. We will do the opening, so please stand by.
koolNews Early Edition. This is koolNews Early Edition.
Yes, everyone. Good morning to everyone here, and welcome to koolNews Early Edition. Today is July 10th, 2024, and we will be getting into the latest morning headlines that you need to know that you might have missed from yesterday and today. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go to Incar now. As usual, we will be getting into cool weather in a bit, which we will do before we enter the commercial break to start with the weather forecast. What you need to know also later from Pagasa. Okay, so let's begin. Let's start with the first headlines as I'm with a bit more beside me for now. I have some drink in the meantime. Let's start with the latest headlines right here. Okay, so let's begin with the first headlines. The Land Transportation Office on Tuesday reported that it collected 986.5 million pesos in penalty from people caught violating traffic regulations all over the country in the first half of the year. LTO Chief Victor Mendoza II said in a statement that the revenue collection from fines and penalties was part of the agency's efforts to intensify road safety measures and ensure road courtesy and discipline. The almost 1 billion pesos collection from fines and penalties alone is a result of the hard work of our law enforcers and other personnel on the ground. We cannot attribute productive dedication and commitment to ensure road safety, he said. Based on the LTO's data, a total of 333,073 motorists were apprehended nationwide from January 1st to June 30 this year for various offenses. Some, however, have yet to pay their fines or penalties. We are expecting that this figure will rise as soon as the apprehended will settle fines and penalties. That is why we are asking them to settle on time, because failure to do so will only result in the payment of higher fines and penalties. In short, they will pay more, Mendoza said. As much as possible, we in the LTO do not want motorists to pay any fine or penalty. We have to do this if this is what... I'm sorry, is our real life here? Yes, we are live. So, as much as possible, we in the LTO do not want more motorists to pay any fine or penalty. But in the interest of the law and road safety, we do have to do this if this is what it takes to compel them to be disciplined and behave while on the road, he added. Okay, give me a second. Well, Environmental Watch Group Eco-Escalation issued a warning on Tuesday against the illegal sale of banned mercury laced cosmetics at shops in Helsinki City. The group said that from June 29 to July 1st, they found at least 20 retail kiosks and shops in 9 barangays in the city's skin lightening products containing dangerous levels of mercury. It added that the findings were reported to Mayor Lenny Catiano, leading to a meeting on July 8 between the city's business permits and licensing office and ECOWIS to discuss possible measures to be taken against errant vendors. Among the banned products quantity for sale were Goldie Gold 24K Beauty Cream, which was banned in 2023, 88 Total White Underarm Cream from Thailand, that's from 2021, Gory Beauty Cream with lycopene, I'm sorry if I can't get it right, but it was banned in 2017, Gory Day and Night Beauty Cream from Pakistan, also banned in 2017, as well as Chinese products, Jolly Miraculous Cream, banned in 2010, and as Sitang 10 Day Specific Eliminating Freckle AP set, banned in 2020. Eileen Lucero, ECOWIS national coordinator, warned that consumers were being tricked into using these facial foams that promise to lighten the skin tone and manage symptoms of aging. The World Health Organization skin lightening products inhibits melanin production, resulting in a lighter skin tone. However, repeated applications could lead to skin discoloration, rashes, scarring, or worse, damage to the kidneys, brain, and central nervous system. Okay, all right. So then, Babang Track Mayor Alice Guo cannot invoke her right against self-incrimination as an excuse for not attending the Senate inquiry into her alleged involvement in the illegal activities of Philippine offshore cable operators, Focus, senators said on Tuesday. According to Senate President Francis Escudero, Guo's attendance at the resumption of the hearing on Wednesday was not up to her or her lawyers to decide, as Senator Rizal Diveros had already subpoenaed her and her family. If a subpoena has been issued on a person, you are under the compulsion of law. That means it's not your decision whether to attend the Senate hearing or not, Escudero to reporters in an interview. If the court, the Senate, or the House issues a subpoena, the witness is obligated to comply with it. So it's not their call if Guo will participate, he said. In a letter to Honduras on Tuesday, Guo formally informed the senator of her decision not to participate in the hearing, citing her worsening physical condition and death threats against her. For a few months now, I have been the subject of malicious accusation. I have been ridiculed, my dignity has been debased, and my personal life and even my identity have been questioned and mocked, she said. Not to mention, I have been consistently receiving death threats that I cannot simply ignore, as I am afraid that these threats may endanger my life or either. According to her, she tried to seek medical help, but medical professionals that I have consulted have refused to issue a medical certificate stating my condition for fear that may also experience the rehabilitation and rehab that I'm going through. In a statement, Hontiveros agreed with Escudero that the right against self-incrimination was not a legal veil to avoid accountability, as she called on Google and her lawyers to just follow the law. Our jurisprudence is clear and consistent. The Supreme Court has recognized that the invocation of the right against self-incrimination can only be done when a question is being asked, she said. It's an old excuse to avoid investigation, she said. If Guo really wants to clear her name, she should appear at the hearing, answer the questions properly, and stop telling lies. He added. According to Escudero, he will issue an awards warrant against Guo should Hontiveros, the chair of the committee conducting the hearing, request one. Around 40,000 to 140,000 workers in Metro Manila may lose their jobs because of the 35 peso hike in the daily minimum wage, but the government is optimistic that the higher pay will not affect the inflow of investments that fuel economic growth. Oh, wait a minute. Your voice and the Cool FM player are overlapping and we can't hear you properly. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to mute it. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you for notifying. Okay, okay, that's been rectified. Thanks for thanks for informing. Okay, so let's continue. So anyways, if you are on the live stream, my audio will be fine because I'm watching the live stream and you can hear my voice not overlapping. So yes, it is on Discord side. So if you are on Discord, yes, it is overlapping. But if you're watching the early edition live stream or whatever the broadcast it is right now on Call TV, it is not overlapping as I can check on my end. Anyways, let's continue. Social Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisa Khan on Tuesday downplayed the possible impact of the latest wage increase, which he described as quite reasonable and not really constraining to the economy. Our estimates so far suggest that the national output, gross domestic product, would be impacted negatively. But as a very small impact, it's just 1/10 of 1%. It's very negligible. Balisacan said at a press briefing in Malacanang. Balisacan, head of the National Economic and Development Authority (NEDA), said the minimum wage increase might also increase the unemployment rate by a very negligible number. It could impact something like 40,000 to 140,000, depending on the industry. But again, not as big as one would expect if those rate adjustments were much higher, he noted. He said that workers to be displaced by the wage hike would have new opportunities to find new work because of the growing economy and labor market. If you lose one job there are other jobs being opened up. During this period, there are 600,000 plus new employment. You know, these are new jobs open up in the economy. As our economy continues to grow at 6 to 7% this year, that will be accompanied by quite a lot of jobs, Balisakan pointed out. He stressed that the government also wanted to improve the quality of employment, which translates to higher wages in order to reduce poverty. Balisakan referred to the latest labor force survey for May 2024, released by the Philippine Statistics Authority on Monday, showing that the unemployment rate decreased to 4.1% from 4.3% a year ago. If you look at the numbers, the total additional employment created by our economy was something like 605,000 workers added in the poll. Hopefully that's settled. Let me start the stream again. We are back live on YouTube now. So, okay, we are back live on YouTube now. So let me just get my thing ready real quick, just to see if we are going to be up for if we have a new podcast. Wonderful. Yes, we do. So we are going to go get ready for that now. Okay. Let me just go. We got it. All right. Now let me just go back to the live stream now real quick. There we go. We are back now. Hopefully, that's settled. Yes, we are indeed live on YouTube, so that's good. Anyways, apologies for some technical difficulties as we have experienced earlier, but it must go on. So let's continue now. Where are we? Where are we left off? Where are we now? Here we are. Okay, so where are we here? Okay. If you look at the numbers, the total additional employment created by our economy was something like 605,000 workers added in the pool of employed people. And that is very encouraging because if we look further, we zoom into the data, we find that the increase in employment came from jobs opened up in manufacturing, in industry, and in services, he said. Balisacan added that many of those jobs were those that required middle-skilled workers, an indicator that the quality of jobs was encouraging. If we look at the type of workers by class of workers, we see that the big increases are in the wage and salary workers, which is a good indicator of the quality of work. In the Philippine Development Plan, we use the proportion of wage and salary workers in a total employed workers as an indicator of quality. When we see the number rising, the quality of employment is rising, so it's very encouraging that those numbers have increased since May 2023 and May 2024, he said. Balisacan noted that the latest wage increase was meant to adjust workers' salaries to inflation and ensure that their purchasing power would not fall. For so long as those wage adjustments are not too high to discourage investments, those adjustments are welcome. That should not be a worry to the business community and us economic managers because the impact. The NADA official made the remarks of a week after the approval of the increase in the daily minimum pay of workers in the national capital region by 5.7% to 645 pesos from 610 pesos for non-agricultural workers. Labor groups and opposition lawmakers criticized the wage adjustment as an insult and a disgrace to Metro Manila's workforce. In 2023, the daily minimum pay in Metro Manila was increased by 40 pesos, which displaced around 20,000 pet workers, according to Labor Secretary Bienvenido Lagusma. In the same briefing, Lagusma responded to criticism that this year's 25 peso wage hike was a pretense by stressing that there was no intention of the board to really go that in kind of direction. The Department of Labor and Employment is also monitoring the possible impact of wage increases on employment. The adjustment is actually on the minimum wage. It's the entry levels, the floor level to give social protection to workers, so that will not be subjected to undue low pay. I do hope that the adjustment will not have an adverse effect on our encouraging growth in our employment sector, like Gusmas. All right. Now, as we are as we will be getting ready for Pagasa weather, real quick. Excuse me. Okay, let's see again. Okay. Okay, I'll have to close that one here. But anyways, okay. Okay, anyways, people, now it is time for cool weather. Yes, it is now time for cool weather. Let me just get the title ready. Okay, give me a second. Okay, now it is time for. Anyways, for real this time, we are sorry for if you saw one of the happenings here, but now it is time for cool weather brought to you by the Pagasa weather specialist Abad Bradrina. Let's go. It's time for weather forecast. Once again, people, the time it is now 56 minutes before 6, and it is now for cool weather forecast brought to you by the Pagasa weather specialist Bradrina.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat mula sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Narito ng lagay na ating panahon ngayong araw nga ng Miyerkules, July 10, 2024. At dito sa ating latest satellite images, makikita natin na Intertropical Convergence Zone or ITCZ ang nakakaapekto, partikular na sa may Southern Luzon, Visayas at sa may Mindanao. Kaya makikita ninyo halos may mga cloud clusters dito sa may Southern Luzon at maging dito rin sa may labas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility na nasa bahagi nitong axis no tinatawag nating Intertropical Convergence Zone o pagsalubong ng hangin mula sa magkaibang hemispheres ng mundo. At ito ang inaas natin magdadala ng mga pag-ulan, partikular na sa malaking bahagi ng Southern Luzon. So ito yung Mimaropa, Calabarzon, kasama din yung Kamaynilaan. So malaking chance ng mga pag-ulan ngayon sa Metro Manila, gayon din sa Central Luzon. Inaasahan din natin ang mga pag-ulan sa Western Visayas, kasama rin yung Negros Island region at ang lalawigan din ng Siquijor. Sa nalabing bahagi ng ating bansa, sa Mindanao, sa may Northern Luzon, sa Central Visayas at Eastern Visayas, mga isolated rain showers and thunderstorms naman ang mararanasan. Sa ngayon nga, wala pa naman tayong minomonitor na low pressure area, bagamat may mga cloud clusters tayo ngayon na tinitingnan, pero wala pa rin tayong bagyo sa loob at labas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Samantala, narito ang ating inasang magiging lagay ng panahon, partikular na dito sa Luzon. Makikita natin na malaki ang tsansa ng mga pag-ulan at maulap na kalangitan, partikular na sa bahagi ng Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, gayon din sa Metro Manila at sa Central Luzon. Dulot yan ng Intertropical Convergence Zone or ITCZ, kung saan nga nakakaapekto itong axis niya, partikular na dito sa may Southern Luzon, sa Visayas at sa Mindanao. Samantala, sa may Northern Luzon, partikular na sa Ilocos Region, Cordillera at Cagayan Valley Region, inasa natin ang mga isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. Posibleng medyo mainit pa rin yung panahon, particular na sa may Northern Luzon sa tanghali. Agwat mo ng temperatura natin sa Lawag na sa 24 to 33 degrees Celsius. Sa Tuguegarao hanggang 35 degrees Celsius. Sa Baguio naman, 70 to 24 degrees Celsius. Sa Kamaynilaan, nasa 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. Sa Tagaytay naman, 23 to 31 degrees Celsius. Habang sa Legazpi, 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. Dito naman tayo sa Palawan, Visayas at Mindanao. Makikita natin na malaki rin yung tsansa ng mga pag-ulan sa Palawan, dulot ng ITCZ at ang agwat ng temperatura sa Calayan Islands nasa 25 to 31 degrees Celsius, habang sa Puerto Princesa City 25 to 31 degrees Celsius. At magiging maulan din sa malaking bahagi ng Western Visayas kasama yung Negros Island region at Siquijor. At sa nalalabing bahagi naman ng Kabisayaan, ang Central Visayas at Eastern Visayas, mga isolated rain showers and thunderstorms ang maaaring maranasan sa araw na ito. Agwat ang temperatura sa Iloilo, 24 to 31 degrees Celsius. Sa Cebu naman, 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. Sa Tacloban, nasa 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. Samantala, sa Mindanao naman, bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap na kalangitan at may mga tsansa din ng mga pag-ulan sa hapon hanggang sa gabi, dulot ng mga localized thunderstorms at ng ITCZ sa malaking bahagi ng Mindanao. Yung agwat ng temperatura natin sa Zamboanga, 24 to 33 degrees Celsius. Sa Cagayan de Oro naman, 24 to 32 degrees Celsius. At sa Davao, 24 to 33 degrees Celsius. Inaasahan nga natin sa mga susunod na araw patuloy na magdadala ng mga pag-ulan itong ITCZ, particular na dito sa may bahagi ng Palawan area, Western Visayas at maging dito sa may Zamboanga Peninsula. Posibleng malaki din yung chance ng mga pag-ulan sa mga susunod na araw. Sa ngayon naman, wala tayong nakataas na gale warning, kaya ligtas pa rin na pumalawat ang mga sakyang pandagat kahit yung maliliit na mga bangka sa mga baybayin ng ating bansa. Samantala, ang araw natin sisikat mamayang 5:33 na umaga at lulubog, ganap na 6:30 ng gabi. At dahil nga sa ITCZ ay inaasahan natin na malaking lugar sa ating bansa ay makararanas ng mga pag-ulan at mas malaki din yung chance ng mga thunderstorms. Kaya patuloy tayong mag-follow at mag-subscribe sa ating iba't ibang mga social media platforms, sa X, sa Facebook, sa YouTube at sa ating website pag-asa.doc.gov.ph. Dito natin pinalalabas yung ating mga thunderstorm advisories, rainfall information, mga flood warnings, kasama din yung mga heavy rainfall warnings. At muli mula sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center, ako naman si Obet Badrina. Maghanda po tayo lagi para sa ligtas na Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Alright, so as you just heard. Alright, so as you heard, that was the weather forecast brought to you by the Pag-asa. So yeah, let's speak out there because the weather condition right now is raining right now. So yeah, we will be giving you latest up to date as well on the weather conditions as right now it was rainy on my end a while ago. And yeah, it looks like the skies in our area, foggy, it is dark cloudy. It's not the usual morning that I see. So, anyways, yeah. For now, let's we will inform you when whether there will be a raining or not. So for now, is that was the weather forecast. All right, it is now 2 minutes after 6, and we will be right back for Cool News Early Edition. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cool News. Oops. But anyways, yeah, welcome back to Cool News Early Edition. Give me a second. Sorry about that. But anyways, let's continue with the headlines now. Oops, forgot to change that. But yes, we are live. Yes, we are currently live on TVH News YouTube channel and on Cool FM as well as Cool TV Live One Live. I was eating my breakfast, so apologies for that one. But anyways, let's get into more headlines. Let's for one now. I'm still eating because yeah. Alright, let's get into the West Philippine Sea coverage. Here it is. For a week now, the largest Coast Guard vessels of the Philippines and China have been in close proximity to each other at Escoda Sabina Shoal. As neither one of them had poached, the Philippine Navy on Tuesday reiterated that the Filipinos won't be the first to do so, citing our past experiences and current capabilities. Still, Rear Admiral. Whoops. No. Okay. Back here. Okay. Still, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, the Navy spokesperson on the West Philippine Sea, refused to call the situation between the Philippine Coast Guard and the General Coast Guard a standoff. Trinidad said the PRP Teresa Bangua, the PCG's largest and most modern vessel, would not end its 3-month-old mission at Escoda just because of the arrival on July 3 of CCG vessel 5901. At one point, the CCG ship, called Monster, for being the world's largest Coast Guard vessel, came as close as 500 yards to the Mount Bangua. We have our plans not only for Escoda. All our plans are anchored on all our past experiences and current capabilities, Trinidad said, suggesting a strategy behind the Bangua's resolve to stay put. It was Trinidad's response when asked how the Navy would avoid a repeat of the 2012 standoff over another shoal, Patadak Scarborough, which lasted 2 months and ended with the Philippines losing the shoal to Chinese control. Also known as Barrio del Masinloc, Patadak has since been off limits to Filipino fishermen, mainly those from Zambales province, who now face harassment from the Chinese whenever they dare venture into what used to be part of their traditional fishing grounds. There is no standoff, Trinidad stressed. But he said he will ensure the integrity of our territory. Of course, it is our mandate. Not only that, but we have to ensure that what is ours will remain ours. We have almost all our capital ships already being assigned or doing routine patrols in the West Philippines area, not only because of the master ship, he told reporters at Camp Aguinaldo. We will not give up that ship, Magkua. It is an indication of the government's stand. It is the mandate of the Armed Forces of the Philippines to ensure the integrity of the national territory, he added. The PCG first noted the arrival of the 12,000-ton PCG ship at Escoda Shoal, saying it dropped anchor there on July 3. Commander J. Tarilla, the PCG spokesperson on the West Philippine Sea, then said the PCG earlier made intrusive patrols in other parts of the West Philippine Sea in the last week of June, particularly at Ayukin Shoal and Ganiban Mischief Reef before going to Escoda to the Bangua into leaving the area. According to an update released on Tuesday by the Armed Forces of the Philippines, at least 95 Chinese vessels sighted West Philippine Sea on July 8 alone. According to an update, did I get it? Okay. According to an update released on Tuesday by the Armed Forces of the Philippines, at least 75 Chinese vessels were sighted within the West Philippine Sea on July 8 alone. Of the total, the majority were the majority were maritime vessels that number up to 78. There are two Chinese warships also seen in the vicinity of Ayungin, which is located with some 67 kilometers west of Escoda. Escoda, which is about 139 kilometers west of Palawan province, serves as the rendezvous point or staging area for rotation and resupply missions grounded here base Mare, the Philippine military outpost at Ayungin. Okay, there you go. That we have covered the West Philippine Sea coverage. That will be the latest. But we will keep you up to date whenever the new headlines come in. Give me a second. I'm so sorry. That's taking a while because I'm really having my breakfast. Oh man. But yeah. Okay. Yes, I have got the headline already. All right. Let's continue now. A parent organization has assailed a legal opinion issued by the Department of Justice, allowing the Department of Social Welfare and Development to receive donations from individuals and companies linked to the tobacco industry, saying it disregarded the government's international commitment. This decision poses significant risk to the health and well-being of our children and youth. Our primary concern is the impact of this decision on impressionable young minds. Parents Against Vape President Ribi Relator said in a statement on Monday. For the group, the DOJ opinion would send a misleading message to our children, suggesting that the tobacco industry as a partner in healthcare and development. In a June 6 legal opinion, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remula said the DSWT could accept a donation of three mobile clinics for its social welfare and disaster response operations from an undisclosed tobacco company. He said this acceptance would not violate Joint Memorandum Circular number 2010-01 of the Civil Service Commission and the Department of Health, the GMC, particularly Section 3.3. Government officials and employees from soliciting or accepting gifts, favors, or donations from entities in the tobacco industry. The prohibition was in line with the country's compliance with commitments under the World Health Organization Convention on Tobacco Control, to which the Philippines is signatory. But according to the DOJ opinion, the prohibition only covered officials and employees, and the same cannot be interpreted to broad the national government, local government, and other government agencies, subdivisions, and offices. In 2019, the DSWD issued an administrative order number 11, which reiterated the joint circular of the CSC and DOH and barred the agency and its personnel from accepting gifts, donations, and sponsorships from any person or business related to the tobacco. As the lead government agency in promoting services to the general public, it is an ethical and primary duty of the department to care and protect the DSWD clientele, particularly children and its own personnel, from the harm of tobacco and threat of tobacco industry interference. The AO stated, tobacco control measures help save lives, reduce health hazards, and counter the economic toll on the citizen toward greater sustainable development, it added. The DOJ, however, recommended that the DSWD address the conflict of AO11 internally, noting its overarching inclusion of both the department and its officials and a coverage of the prohibition of the prohibition. It also advised the DSWD to address its inquiry to both the DOH and CNC as the lead implementing agencies of the joint circular. Okay, we're almost done here. Anyways, PAV called on Social Welfare Secretary Rex Cachillian to reject the donations and for his agency to just seek alternative sources of funding that align with the nation's commitment to public health and the protection of our future generation. According to the group, the DSWD accepting such smack of dangerous irony, as it would normalizing the presence of the tobacco industry in sectors dedicated to public health and welfare. It noted that tobacco use is a leading cause among Filipinos, 47 out of the top 10 non-communicable diseases in the country. This not only undermines efforts to reduce tobacco use and its health impacts, but also compromises the integrity of public health policies, relators said. It could also create conflict of interest within the DSWD and other government agencies. The DOH, for one, has been strongly campaigning against smoking and vaping. It opens the door for the tobacco industry to public health policies and programs which should remain free from any vested interest that could jeopardize public health, especially the health of our children, the group said. Alright, I will be taking a toilet break, just a second, but we will not be going to commercial break as since we still have a lot of headlines to cover until at least 6:30 headlines ready. By the way, the time check right now is 6:25 in the morning, so if you just joined us here for the early morning headlines, then welcome to koolNews Early Edition. So yeah, welcome to koolNews Early Edition, and thanks for sticking with us thanks for joining us in starting your day with us for the headlines that you need to know. So yeah, but anyways, I will be break. We're not going to commercial break. It will just be very quick. So stand by, people. We will be taking a toilet break, but no commercial break until. All right, listeners and viewers, thanks for your patience. Now let's continue with this. A special division of the Sandigan Bayan. Okay, we are live for all those times. So now let's continue. A special I'll have to read to this one. A special division of the Sandigan Bayan has junked the separate pleadings of alleged barbarous scam mastermind Janet Lim Napoles and former AEC party list lawmaker Edgar Valdez, challenging their direct bribery and corruption conviction over the diversion of public funds for fictitious projects. In a 20-page resolution promulgated on July 8, the five-man Special Fifth Division threw out the motion for reconsideration filed by Napoles, as it maintained that no constitutional right was violated when it invoked the variant doctrine in finding the two accused guilty of less severe crimes. The court, however, partially granted Valdez's motion, but in connection only with the bank deposit worth 1 million pesos to joint account with his wife Delma. The money was found to have come from a non-governmental organization that was not significantly proven to be under Napoles. Napoles and Valdez were acquitted of plunder charges in October last year, but the businessman was found guilty of corruption of public officers, while the former representative was convicted of direct bribery. In citing the variance rule, the anti-graft court asserted that the precise liability of direct bribery, Valdez, and corruption of public officials for Napoles was based on the number of accusations Valdez accepted and received commissions from Napoles in consideration of such endorsements, which was already stressed out in the court's decision. The variance rule, stipulated under the rules of court on criminal procedure, allows an accused to be convicted of a crime, but the crime must also be discussed and detailed in the original complaint. The court stressed that the complaint mentioned that Valdez directly or indirectly received payoffs amounting to 57.8 million pesos from Napoles, who allegedly controlled the engine, namely Masangganang Anin para sa Magsasaka Foundation Incorporated, Philippine Social Development Foundation Incorporated, and Social Development Program for Farmers Foundation Incorporated. The three NGOs were handpicked to become project partners to be funded by Valdez Priority Development Assistance Fund allocation from 2004 to 2010. In the same vein, the element of corruption of public officials can be clearly gathered from the foregoing allocations with court resolution. Accused Valdez and Napoles were accurately appraised that the plunder information included the lesser offenses of bribery and corruption. They were not caught by surprise and were not oblivious to these lesser offenses, it said. They should have been able to intelligently prepare for and defend against these. Let me just double check my browsing history. Make sure I'm not repeating the headlines. Okay. Japan is not seeking to establish a permanent military base in the Philippines under the newly signed access deal between the two countries that allows the entry of military troops and equipment into each other's territory, a Japanese diplomat said on Monday. In an interview with journalists on Monday night, Deputy Press Secretary Mariko Kaneko or Nakenko of Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the reciprocal access agreement did not provide any legal foundation for the setup of a military base. Section 3, Article 8 of the agreement explicitly states that nothing in this agreement shall be construed as providing a basis for a party to establish its military facilities in the territory of the other party. Similar access deals Japan had forged with Australia and the United Kingdom did not feature this clause. The 1987 Constitution of the Philippines prohibits foreign military bases in the country. Kaneko said both parties had to include the provision during the negotiations, so there is no misunderstanding on both sides. It only provides the procedures to facilitate the joint exercises and the temporary operation of the one country's forces. This RAA does not provide any legal foundations for a military of one country to be deployed or based permanently, Kaneko said. Yusuke Takaki, a Southeast Asia expert and associate professor at the National Graduate Institute of Policy Studies in Japan, said a new deal would open the door for more substantial participation of Japan's force in joint exercises in the Philippines. This implies an effort to institutionalize the cooperation of the two countries in the midst of tensions in the West Philippine Sea. I believe that the agreement shows Japan's moral support to how the Philippines to deal with the threats, he told the Inquirer. Foreign Secretary Enrique Manalo said difficult issues emerged during the negotiations, but that they were eventually solved due to the skill of negotiators. The agreement, signed by Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. and his Japanese counterpart Minoru Kihara in Manakanan, was completed in a record time of months. By comparison, Tokyo formalized an RAA with years and with Canberra in 7 years. They were able to come up with some very useful compromises, both in language and also in the substance of the text. So they were able to handle the difficult questions, Manalo said during a press conference. At the strategic level, both Japan and the Philippines recognized the importance of this agreement. So I think that was a basic understanding from the very beginning, so that helped facilitate the negotiations, he added. The first formal negotiations on the RAA were held on November 9 and November 30, 2023, and concluded in a virtual line-by-line reading of the main text, the degree minutes, and 2 records of discussions on June 11. Manalo said the negotiations over the past months took place in both physical and virtual meetings. They had late-night meetings. They also negotiated via Zoom. They also were in regular contact informally, he recalled. In a statement on Tuesday, Speaker Martin Romualdez described the signing of the RAA as a moment in Philippine-Japan relations. It would broaden the participation of the Chinese military in the annual exercise of the United States and the Philippines Armed Forces, the House leader said. Iloilo Representative Raul Tupas, Vice Chair of the House Committee on National Defense and Security, proposed that the Philippines consider signing similar pacts with South Korea and 2 of the country's Southeast Asian neighbors. It is possible for the Philippines to have a similar reciprocal access agreement with South Korea. Similar pacts can be forged with Brunei and Malaysia, the lawmaker said, noting that the enactment of the Maritime Bill could spew pursuit of more agreements. Brunei and Malaysia are also claimants to South China Sea. Alright, it is now 36 minutes after 6, and we will have more headlines throughout the broadcast right here on koolNews Early Edition. So stick around, people. We will be right back. Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. Let's continue with the headlines now. It is 44 minutes after 6 and we are still here. Okay, so let's see if we have any new headlines so far. Let me just double check the history so that we won't be repeating the headlines that we already read, but we will be recapping the top stories later. Okay, okay, the DAR, I have not covered that. There we go. Okay, where is it? Let me just double check again. Okay, I have already covered. Alright, so we do have a brand new international headlines, which we'll be getting into the first two later. Yeah, so just give us. Alright, for whatever reason, it's taking a while. Alright, anyways, now let's get into the headlines. Let's continue. Let's ask Department of Agri Reform, DAR, Secretary Corando Estrella said on Tuesday that certificates of condonation and release of mortgage under the new Agrarian Emancipation Act will be distributed on July 19. Estrella emphasized during a Pagpapili 2003 Sonam special that DAR will distribute the certificates in compliance with Republic Act 11953, adding that the department hopes to reach out to 300,000 agrarian reform benefits for 2025. Another important feature of the new Agrarian Emancipation Act is the July 19th date wherein we will begin the distribution. I don't know. Okay, sorry. It's just the lower logo. But anyways, another important feature of the new Agrarian Emancipation Act is the July 19th date wherein we will begin the distribution of the certificate of condonation and release of mortgage, Estrella said. For the remaining 6 months of this year, we expect to distribute about 300,000, Estrella added. RA 11953, signed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on July 7, 2020, directed DAR to proposal of all pending court regarding unsettled payments of principal and interest over agricultural lands covered by agrarian reform laws. Well, continuing with our Philippines Sea coverage, look who's talking. It is China, the aggressive large-scale builder of militarized artificial islands in the South China Sea, and not the Philippines that has wreaked havoc on the maritime environment in a resource-rich waterway, Philippine officials said on Tuesday. The National Security Council rebuffed China's fresh allegation that grounded warship Sierra Madre, now serving as a Philippine military outpost, had gravely damaged the coral reef system at Ayungin Secondary Shoal. China also spoke of beached Philippine warships as the culprit, although on record only the Sierra Madre would fit that description. By recalling the ground, by recalling the grounding of this vessel, China is also bringing up an event in 1999. China claims Ayungin, calling it Reinai and other maritime features in the West Philippine Sea, the name used by Manila to mark parts of the SCS that lie within the country's so. In a statement on Tuesday, NSC Assistant Director General and spokesperson Jonathan Malaya said it was China that had found to cause irreparable damage to corals. It is China that has caused untold damage to the maritime environment and jeopardized the natural habitat and the livelihood of thousands of Filipino fisherfolk, Malaya said. The construction sought by China's island ruling and fortifications was even cited in the July 26 Bureau ruling that voided its maritime claims to the SCS, he added. According to the ruling, China aggravated its maritime dispute with the Philippines by building a large island, Mishti Reef, inflicting permanent, irreparable harm to the coral habitat in the area. It also cited China's island building and construction work in Calderon, Coreton Reef, Kadkindingtangan, Very Cross Reef, Bargos Gavan Reef, Mabini Johnson Reef, McKennan Hughes Reef, and Samora Subi Reef. These artificial islands now serve as Chinese military bases, said Malaya. The tribunal found that Chinese authorities were aware that their officials were harvesting endangered turtles, coral, and giant clams on a substantial scale in the South China Sea, using methods that inflict severe damage on the coral reef environment, and they had not fulfilled their obligation to stop such activities, he said. In a 2023 report, the Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative said China's island building activities were responsible for the destruction of around 19 square kilometers of coral reef. The Philippines, according to Malaya, has also collated evidence that China caused severe damage to corals in Panadaxco Shoal, Rosal Ikukoes Reef, Escoda Sabina Shoal, and Pag-asa Case 1, 2, and 3, among others. These swarming and indiscriminate illegal fishing activities of Chinese maritime military in these areas severely degraded the marine environment, he said. He called on the public and the international community to be wary and conscious of ongoing activities by Chinese state-owned media and so-called Chinese experts to spread fake news and disinformation and conduct malaligned influence operations in the Philippines, including this false accusation against PRB Sierra Madre, he said. China said on Monday that illegal beaching of Philippine warships at the Nasha Islands, China's name for the Spratlys group of islands, had gravely damaged the coral reef ecosystem in the area, as both countries struggle over disputed territory in the South China Sea. China's Ministry of Natural Resources in a comprehensive report said Philippine warships have been illegally beached around Sectama Shoal near Nasha Islands for a long time, and it has seriously damaged the diversity, stability, and sustainability of the reef ecosystem. The report proposes that the Philippines should remove beach warships to eliminate the source of pollution and avoid cause sustained and cumulative harm to the coral reef ecosystem. Aside from the Sierra Madre, there is no other major Philippine vessel on record that has been deliberately grounded for strategic reasons in the U.S. China's report said that from 2011 to 2024, coverage of reef-building corals at the South Shore Reef platform declined about 38.2%. Last year, the Philippines said it was exploring legal options against China, accusing it of destruction of coral reefs within its exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. Over the weekend, the Philippines said China's largest coast guard vessel had anchored in Manila's exclusive economic zone in the waterway, a move meant to intimidate. Despite ongoing altercations, both countries last week agreed for the need to restore trust and rebuild confidence to better manage maritime disputes. And now finally heading to entertainment. I'm sorry. Oh man, God, why do I keep mixing up? But now let's let's get into the international headlines. This story will be qualified as sports and international at the same time. Athletes at the Paris Olympics later this month will be tested for performance enhancing drugs, but at the competition plotting to rival the games, doping will be the point. The enhanced games, currently planned for late next year, will not test competitors for drugs, but instead encourage them to take advantage of medical advancements to break world records. The organizers say that by freeing athletes from the friendly of anti-doping agencies and embracing technology, the enhanced games aim to safely involve mankind into the community. But researchers who have studied the effects of performance-enhancing drugs toward agents press or AFP, they fear the games will push athletes to dope at such extreme levels they could heart attack, stroke, or even death. It remains unclear if the enhanced games will actually be held at all. World Athletics President Sebastian Coe has dismissed the whole idea as prologue. But momentum seems to be building up to retire Australian Olympic James signed up earlier this year, and the competition announced millions of dollars in funding from investors, including U.S. libertarian billionaire Peter Thiel. Astrid Christine Bjornbeck, a researcher at Oslo University Hospital, said she was shocked to find out there was even a chance this extremely dangerous idea could become reality. Bjornbeck, who has studied how anabolic steroids damage the brains of weightlifters, warned that the games would trigger boundaries, illustrating how the concept could incentivize such use. Magnuson told a podcast he will choose to the girls weightlifting and combat sports. Beck warned that mixed steroids and combat sports such as mixed martial arts significantly escalates the risk of someone dying during the competition. To avoid such risk, a spokesperson for the event's games told AFP that all athletes will be continually advised once. This will include health checks, physiological screening, and monitoring use tech such as a real-time portable echocardiogram, the spokesperson said. However, Dominic Subgroup of Northwest University of Bergen, who has led research finding that 1 in 3 steroid users become addicted, warned the consequences of successful enhanced games could spill into society. That children and their sporting heroes could seek out steroids, or that roid rage-induced violence by aspiring athletes could be pushed into the streets. We cannot even fathom the consequences. It's not something to laugh at. Anabolic steroids would likely be the most common used drug at the games, they said. Excessive use of these steroids has been found to cause liver or kidney damage, high blood pressure and cholesterol, infertility, mental health problems, and a higher risk of cancer. And finally, Pope Francis appealed for considering new measures to end the wars in Ukraine and Gaza Tuesday after attacks targeted at children's hospital in Kiev and Gaza. The Vatican press office issued a statement Tuesday expressing Francis' pain over the new attacks and his profound upset at the spiraling of violence. While he expresses closeness to the innocent victims and injured, he hopes and prays that considered paths can be identified to put an end to ongoing conflict, the statement said. And just before we go, it is now 1 minute before 8, and we will be recapping the top stories that we have covered so far. LTO collects 986.5 million pesos from driver car later. Branded beauty products are still being sold in some lucky shops. Google cites health death threats in excuse letter to Senate. Latest wage hike may leave 140,000 people jobless, according to Navy asserts Philippine vessel to stay at shoal, cites past experiences. Parents group slams DOJ, DSWD, why take 8 from Bit to Paco? Santigan upholds no Nopales conviction for lesser crime. No base clause is a must in Philippine-Japan Pact. And highly built in China, non-Philippines rocking. And that is it for koolNews Early Edition. So as always, thanks so much for joining me to start your day with us this morning. And we will be back with more headlines later with koolNews at 11. Until then, I am Asphere, and this has been koolNews Early Edition. We will see you later for more headlines at 11. Goodbye for now, and good morning.